It was 3 years later, but the men were much older. For Benn it was 9 fights and 61 rounds later. For Eubank 9 and 98, the Watson tragedy was a wait. Eubank's average rounds went from 6 to 10. Some say he was more cautious than he was back then. The nation was transfixed and the money was big. I didn't see it end, but the promotion was sick. The galleries were packed, there was no space in the pit of the Battle of Britain with no white skin in the ring. It's hard to explain the overriding feeling, the spectacle perfect by a talk show with Jonathan Ross with shameless reference to Benn's lunchbox with a star-studded audience. They played to all the racial tropes and even tried to use Tessa to little bro Eubo. So many plantation tricks were deployed to uphold a narrative that masked the truth we were keen to hide. We're drawn to watching fighting where people nearly died. Benn won the battle but lost the war. Deducted points made it a draw. The Asian men bled money from this draw, and so they should. And should've gone more, and so they should. And should've gone more. It sounded like a football match. Supporters in full voice, shouting, screaming, chanting, singing. The tribes have made their choice. Commentators brought their biases, saying Benn was older but not smarter. And since the last meet, Chris was a better fighter, but his fight was more measured. Fatigue played a part, but they used less leather. Right from the start, the one Stark destroyer was more willing to counter-attack. Eubank to outpoint rather than leave you on your back. He said the ring is a dangerous place. I go there with full awareness of that. Now, Benn said, I prepared like a champion unlike the last time round. Up to round 4, they looked like 2 older men. But come round 5, out came the old Nigel Benn. The crowd applauded every landed punch, almost being for blood with every lunge. But by now, Eubank was a respected champion. His crew brought a lot of passion. It's hard to know what his fans supported. The noble, savage, or his artful boxing. The fact that this was called the Battle of Britain is partly why this musical essay was written. Benn won the battle but lost the war. Deducted points made it a draw. The Asian men bled money from this draw, and so they should. And should've gone more, and so they should. And should've gone more. The boxing take this thing out of Eubank like a wasp. Was Benn a better fighter after his double loss? Chris said, he's not the man I thought. I thought I would knock him out. I'll take the draw, we can have another bout. You have to do enough to take a title from a king. But once again, my guy was beat by ill-discipline, battle-worn. Believe freeborn, these men still are fighting them, but Don King. Looking at money booming, they could fight for more than England. Those big good fights would deal a plight nobody had expected. Benn would deliver tragedy and change his whole perspective. Eubank said later, the fighter risk his life, the promoters risk paper. We're fools to think that later will be greater. It's a game of diminishing returns, where the money doesn't match the glory you earn. We were entertained by what we had seen, and yes, we were looking for a thrilling part 3. Looking for closure like Zacchaeus in the tree. We never knew their sons would make this a trilogy. Are we free? Heard them boys made some good money still. Benn won the battle, lost the war. Deducted point, made it a draw. The king men blend money from the source. So they should've got more, so they should. Should've got more. Benn won the battle but lost the war. Deducted points made it a draw. The Asian men bled money from the straw. So they should've got more. So they should've got more. They should've got more. They should've got more. The house wins a war.